croissants right from the oven. You want me to butter one for you?
Yes, please. Honey, you think we ought to call Paul, tell him welcome home, you know, that kind of thing?
Sweetheart, I really think you ought to give him some time. In fact, I think you ought to leave them completely alone and give them just as much time as you possibly can. Come on, sit down.
You really think there's going to be a problem there?
Oh, I think this is going to be very difficult for Becky, yes.
Well, it might take her a little bit of time to get a handle on the situation, you know, get comfortable in her relationship with Pa again, but they were separated, what, almost 4 months. But now that he's back, honey, I think everything's going to work out fine.
Darling, she is in love with Jesse Wilde.
You really believe that?
I'm sure of it.
How can it be?
How?
How? Honey, I can understand how she might be grateful to him because of how he helped her out. I can even understand how she might be temporarily infatuated, but she is in love with Asa. Now, I just don't think Becky is that kind of woman. I don't think she could have 2 men in her life at the same time, that's all.
But Maria Hathaway is not going to vanish into thin air.
Well, that... maybe not, but given a little time...
Is Asa going to give her that time?
Well, he damn well better. He's going to drive her away.
I don't know about you. Whether we're going to get any work out of you today, as worried as you are about your father.
Well, honey, just how much time are we supposed to give him?
We give him today, at least. And then this evening we will call and we will invite them to come here for dinner one night later this week.
Ah, just a casual invitation as though nothing has happened.
What would you suggest?
Well, for one...
Hi, Aaron.
Oh!
What are you going to do?
How are you?
Huh?
Do about what?
I ask you about women.
Oh, well, okay. I'll just excuse myself.
No, you don't have to do that unless you happen to be Irish.
Oh, it's Irish women that have you upset.
No, it's one specific Irish woman. Ever happened to you?
When I've been trying to reach him?
Nope.
Oh, yes. I called your hotel room in Los Angeles once. Very sexy female voice answered.
That was the maid.
Oh, sure, at 8 o'clock at night.
She was turning down my bed.
Oh, some service in that hotel.
All right, but the whole point is, I mean, you didn't get all upset and start accusing him of cheating on you.
Bo, darling Bo, you must take into consideration the circumstances from Dee Dee's point of view.
Yeah, you know, your wedding has been postponed a few times. She got the mumps. You went up charging off to Venice.
And quite understandably, all that may have contributed to a feeling of insecurity on her part.
But what can I do about that?
Nothing.
Give it time.
Lay back.
Mellow out.
Yeah, let the dust settle.
Y'all ever think of taking this little act on the road?
Can't leave the paper, Bo.
I'm afraid we didn't help very much.
No, you did. You did. I feel better already. I do.
Oh,
I think...
excuse me, I didn't realize there was anybody in here. Bo! Well, welcome back.
Well, thank you. How you doing?
We've all been invited to Ace's house for dinner this evening.
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you.
Oh, is this a celebration of his deliverance?
Oh, and Becky's. Just a general good time.
Oh, well, can I bring a friend?
No. No, you may not. This is only family. They want to keep it very small.
Oh. Well, in that case, I think I'll pass.
Here we go again.
Excuse me. I have to talk to her.
You got a problem here?
Have we ever?
Sounds to me like it's been going on for a while.
Too doggone long, Bo. Just too doggone long. It's a major reason for tension in this house.
Well, why does Viki put up with that?
She doesn't. She and Tina are each other's throats all the time.
Well, why don't she just ask Tina to just move along? This is your house, Viki's house. I mean, what does she owe Tina?
That's a good question.
But you don't have the answer.
Bo, there's a whole lot of things I don't have the answer for these days.
Well, you're not the only one. I'll tell you what, I used to think that I really had women figured out. But now, do you know, other than you and Viki, any married couple who have a happy marriage? I mean, you know, just smooth sailing.
Well, up until about 6 months ago, I would have said Paul and Becky. But now, I can't even say...
You're home from Ace's so soon?
Yeah, is Kevin really okay?
Oh, yes. He has a slight temperature, but he was having trouble sleeping, so I decided not to join you. For such a short party, how was it?
Asa suddenly called an end to it.
What?
Yeah, he just suddenly started walking up to people and saying goodnight. He might as well have made an announcement. Anyway, Tina had left just before that happened, so I caught up with her, and here we are.
Did Asa offer any kind of explanation?
No, not a single solitary word.
Probably it was just a mistake for them to have such a big party so soon. After all, Asa and Becky have just barely been reunited, and after everything they've both been through, they're probably both exhausted.
Well, I certainly hope that's all there is to it.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to go to the kitchen and make some tea. Would anybody like some?
No, thanks. I'll pass.
No, thank you. I'm just going to finish this up, and then I'm going to bed. Oh, by the way, I had a very, very interesting telephone call this evening from an old friend of my father's.
Oh. Was that anybody that I might have run into in my research?
No, it was just a business associate. He got in touch because of all the publicity over the Banner's anniversary.
What do you have to say?
Mostly he just went on and on and on about how fond he was of my father. That's all. Told me a lot of things I'd never even realized.
Like what?
Well, the man's name was, Hanson. That's what it was, Hanson. And he had a small research firm some years ago, and apparently my father had admired his work a great deal. Anyway, the firm was foundering, and no one was willing to invest any money in it.
But Victor did.
Yes, he did. He provided all the necessary cash under the most generous terms possible, and not only did the firm thrive then, but they made some rather interesting and rather important discoveries as well.
Looks like Victor was a pretty good judge of human nature.
You should have heard this gentleman. He just went on talking about Father's generosity and his faith and singing his praises. And here I am singing his praises, and I did say I wasn't going to do that again, didn't I?
Well, I think it's wonderful.
You do?
Well, yes. It only shows what a remarkable man Victor was. Well, of course, he had his faults, but I really think he always tried to do the right thing.
You believe that?
Yes. I mean, look what he did for this man. He helped him get the kind of future he deserved. In fact, I think it's my loss that I never really got to know him.
Well, what a sweet thing for you to say.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to go get that tea. Are you sure you don't want any?
No, thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Tina. It's quite a turnaround, isn't it?
She didn't sound like she was being sarcastic.
No. Sounded to me like she meant every word she said.
Yes, that's what I thought. My goodness, who can figure Tina out these days? Well, let's go to bed, shall we?
What about your diary?
Oh, that can wait. You're more important.
That sounds kind of promising.
That's how I mean it.
Okay, Mrs. B. Let's go.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
Need some legal advice.
Your glee back in. David and Jenny are still very much in love, and the last I heard, she was prepared to follow him anywhere.
Masthead. Yeah, now listen, it's not serious this time, but I want that reporter put on light features until he learns how to triple check his sources. Yeah. Now look, I'm going to be here at the house doing some legal work, but if anything important comes up, you call me here. You got that? Right.
Where on earth is Tina?
Still in her room, I think.
Well, Helen told me she wants me to wait, not to go to the Banner. She has something terribly urgent to show me.
Why didn't you bring it up last night?
Probably something had happened last night. I don't know. All I know is I have an editorial to write.
Well, honey, there's still plenty of time. You can write it right here.
No, all the notes are on my desk at the office.
We'll just have a messenger bring them over.
I hardly think it's worth all that trouble.
Well, you know, that might be a good point. I mean, if it was really urgent, she would be down here, wouldn't she? Another thing, you know, this might be Something pleasant for a change. That whole new attitude she seemed to have last night about your father might be a good sign.
Well, there have been other good signs. Now it's a matter of whether or not she sticks to it.
I don't hear the announce that my own son's home. All right. What do you two know about this Jesse Wilde and my wife?
Responsible for what we both knew.
I think it'd be best this way.
So, you both knew Becky Lee was shacking up with this hillbilly.
Paul, it's not the way it looks.
Vicky just admitted it. You just didn't have the guts to tell me yourself.
Will you sit down a minute?
Sit down yourself. I mean, how? How in God's name could you keep it from me? Where is the truth? Where's the loyalty a son owes to his father? You don't believe that anymore?
Of course I do. Will you just let me try and explain?
Explain this. How long did you know this was going on?
Ever since we found her back there in Avery, but we didn't know how serious it was.
You kept it from me all that time?
Damn it, Pa, it wasn't my place to tell you.
Damn it, Clint owed it to me.
All right, look, maybe I was wrong. I just felt that... I still feel that I had to give her at least the opportunity to tell you herself in her own time and in her own way.
So you could sit back and watch your old man squirm.
No, Pa.
Ah! I'll tell you what I think of you. You are the most miserable excuse for a son a father ever laid eyes on. You were a disappointment when you were born. Didn't do nothing right. Couldn't even turn out to the man you were supposed to be. And worse, influence foe. He's just as bad as you. What have I got? 2 zeros for sons. So the hell with you. I got a new boy. I'll raise him as a real Buchanan. And be the son I dreamed of. And as for you, you are just one big mistake. And you know what I do, mistakes, huh? Forget them.